Happy Tuesday! Welcome to live shopping here at Highlight Crafts, and we've got something a little bit special for you today. This is going to be super. I'm really excited about this show. Let me introduce you to the team. So I've got Stephanie's going to be demonstrating for you.
Hello everybody.
In the hot seat. We've got our Hannah. Nearly forgot your name. I nearly did, yeah. Hannah, I had to think about that then, on cameras. And we've got Amber in the production seat today. Andrew's back. Is he grumpy?
No.
Is he
No,
not?
he's chilled out.
You see?
Yeah.
That's probably a... I can get a good night's sleep tonight, right? Right, first of all, let me tell you where you can watch us and how to shop. So you can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and our website, which is highlightcrafts.com. If you want to shop with us on either of our social platforms, we're going to show you a product, and that product will have a code. And all you need to do is type shop and then the code into the comments underneath the video, and that will pop that product into a basket for you. So you don't need to miss anything at all in the show, which is brilliant. Then we're going to send you a direct message, and in that message there will be a link to check out. You're going to click that link, and that will take you to highlightcrafts.com, where you can log into your account and then check out your basket. Make sure you're logging in first, because then you get all your club benefits. If you would prefer to shop with us directly on highlightcrafts.com, you can do that. So just click watch live, and as soon as that show starts, press play, and all the items in that show will appear down the right hand side of your screen. You simply then select the ones that you wish to add to your basket, and they will appear in a little red shopping bag at the top of your screen. When you're ready to log in and check out, you're going to click on that basket, and that will take you through that process. Now you can also shop ahead. So from midnight, you can go onto highlightcrafts.com. There's a banner on our homepage. You click select today, shop today's deals, and all the deals, all the items and all the shows will open up. Now, if we're doing more than one show, for example, today we've got 3 of the scan and cut shows, the items available will only be in the first hour. So if there's nothing in 12 and nothing in 6, it's not that it's not working, it's just that the products are already there. So we just do it once in the day, which is fabulous. So that's where to watch us and how to shop. Right, shall we start with this beautiful download? Summer Stories, this is called. Amanda and I teased it yesterday a little bit. You're going to do your thing.
I'm going to do my thing.
She's going to do a thing. Look at this. Aren't they beautiful? Absolutely beautiful. But wait till you see what Stephanie does with these, because it takes them into a whole different stratosphere of beautiful. They are stunning, aren't they? I was saying yesterday, Stephanie, go to your charity shop, buy a few inexpensive frames, cadence them up, and then these on rice paper with crackle over would look absolutely amazing, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Sublimation. Imagine all your mugs with these on. How cool would that be, right? So if you want the shop some, if you want it as a download, it's from In the Studio. It's $14.99 before your discount. Now remember, it's a digital download. As soon as you've paid for it and checked it out, you can download it and be using it. But I want to show you this, because look at this. We've taken one of those designs and added our brand new metal leaf. Look how gorgeous that is, isn't it? Absolutely fabulous. So instead of going in with your hot foil pen, you can still do that if you want real detail, but this is exceptional. Right, let me introduce you to that product then. So, little votives here. These are going to be brilliant as extra little Christmas presents. You could put your candles in here, you could put rice paper in here, put your metal flake in here, all of those different things that we do. Shot glasses, not going to lie, might be a bit big for a shot though, that, you don't think? I knew David uses those for his shot glasses, so who knows? Right, that one, I know. Right, you're going to get 24 of these, and then you're also going to get 25 sheets of this. Are you ready? Look how beautiful that is. Wow. Isn't that incredible? It's like tortoise shell. It's beautiful. You've got silvers in there. You've got a copper. You've got bronze. You've got gold. You've got a goldy silver. Like all your metallics are mixed together, and it's super fine. Each piece comes wrapped in tissue paper. How wonderful is that? And so much easier than using flake. Because my thing with flake has always been, right, we'll put this beautiful metal flake on here. We've got to unpick it all first, because a lot of it's like bits here and bits there. Using a full sheet means you can be more, not careful, what's the word, more delicate with the finish. And then you've got to sand it back. Not with this. You're going to use the correct brushes, the correct tools for the correct job. Right, so if you want 24 votives, advent calendars. This could be your advent. You could have something different in each one.
You could have a different colour candle
for each
day. I imagine these with candles in. They're gonna the candles just gonna reflect off all of that beautiful colour.
Aren't they?
They're absolutely stunning.
They are.
Or these could all have. You could start your little seedlings off here. You could have them just with individual little flowers in them. They could be mini vases, but that is just stunning. It's beautiful. But this, for me, this collection of this beautiful, almost just, it's like magical. It's so variegated. Having these colours and being able to get this lustre that you get, where you see it's like it's burnt into the foil, is just magical.
It's gorgeous,
it really
isn't
is
it?
Exquisite.
It really is. Right, Wendy Rowland's watching us. Good morning, she says, watching from our sunny cruise ship.
Wow.
Look at us. Gone on the water. I know, right? Yeah, yes. Gordon says, no. Jonathan says, lol, shot glass advent calendar. Yeah, you'd have to open it at night though, wouldn't you? Can you imagine that? No, we don't want to do that. Right, good to have Instagram back. I know, right? So, 24 votives and 25 sheets is shop bundle for $24.99. It's £1 each. And then you're not paying for your metal leaf. Can't get a decent chocolate bar for £1 now, can you? Right, so this is the new metal leaf by itself. So if you want this and you want it without the votives, I do like the idea of the advent calendar though, because you could use your vinyl on your scan and cuts. If you want 25 sheets of that, all individually wrapped, so you can use the tissue paper as well. How stunningly beautiful is that? It's absolutely gorgeous. It's got the look of, you know, when you've printed something and the ink runs slightly and it creates that puddle of colour around the outside. That's what it looks like. It is stunning. And then it's got that mix of oil and water going on at the same time. So both together looks exceptional. So if you just want the metal leaf by itself, that is shop metal and it's $17.99, which means that you're paying £7 for 24 of these. £7, guys, that's crazy for 24 of them. Absolutely, you know, all day, every day, these are going to be candles. And I've said this quite a lot. I buy those expensive jar candles, and there's always about that much wax left in the bottom. It's really annoying. So get that out, melt it down, pop them in these. Going to be amazing. Right, next. Now then, applying your metal leaf. You need to use the right brushes. I've just spoken about gilding flakes, how you put them on with your glue, then you have to scrub it back with your little scrubby tool, and it scratches it all. These are exactly what you need, the right tool for the right job for your metal leaf. You'll see Stephanie use this. It's super easy. So we've done a slightly different configuration for you today. You've got your small, your medium and your large mop brushes. You've then also got 24 8cm squares. You get 12 colours and 2 of each. In here you've got your greens and your blues and your golds and your reds and all those different colours that you're going to use for Christmas. So if you want both of those together, and you definitely need these, this is a brilliant way of applying it. It is shop colour and it's $9.99. How are you doing those at $9.99?
I know. The big one's $9.99.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So both of those together, shop colour, $9.99. Listen, get it while the deal's on. That's what I'm going to say. Now, if you fancy some other colours, if you've been inspired, you're going to get your 3 mop brushes. You're also going to get 10 of your fine brushes. Now, the length of the bristles on each one of these is slightly different. And this is if you want to get right into that detail. Just that little tiny amount of glue that's going to make that paper come to life. So you've got your mop brushes and your fine brushes. You're then going to get 100 sheets of silver, 100 sheets of gold, and 100 sheets of rose gold. So if you put that with your new one and your copper, you've got all the colours today. You've got all of them ready to go for Christmas. How exciting is that? So if you want this set, that is shop leaf $39.99. Now, if you prefer copper, if you want copper leaf, I'm just going to open this up and then you can see the difference in colour, because there is a difference between this and the rose gold. I just want you to see inside this packet. Let's take one out. Look at that. How lovely is that? It's like a shiny new penny, isn't it? Remember when you used to get shiny new pennies? Look at that. Look how fabulous that is. And it's actually, although it's delicate, you can lift it up and play around with it a little bit, can't you? It's really, really versatile product. And there's so many different things you can do with this. I mean, it's just incredible. And all you need is glue. And speaking of glue, we have that for you. Now you're going to get 3 of these. This is the best glue pen I have used in 38 years of doing something creative for a living. 38 years. And I was young when I started. Right, so with these, they create what you call a capillary reaction. So it pulls from the top down. So you've got this little ball bearing at the top, and you're just going to get that glue started. So just press that down. Now look how fine you can go. I am literally just using the nib. Keep it pressed down for longer, you get a bigger dot. Quicker, smaller dots. It's fabulous. But the flow is incredible. Look at this. Isn't that just amazing? And you can go super, 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 super fine. Imagine that. It just, honestly, brilliant. Now, we struggle to keep these in stock. We've got a decent stock this time, thank goodness. So 3 of these today is Shop Pen, $9.99. Absolutely fabulous, those pens. Absolutely fantastic. Right, next, test tubes.
Oh, I know.
I like
Imagine putting these little pieces of gypsophila in them.
So I was thinking you could get some elastic.
Yep.
And put a hole at either side and tie it in place. Then you could have one of your Sospeso flowers heads with the foliage, and just a wire going into the test tube. A little bit of clear resin in the bottom so it looks like a vase. And then you could just have the cork led down at the side. A little bit of shading. I think that'll look amazing as a card. So if you want 10 of these, you're going to get 10 of them for $6.99. It's something a little bit different. It's a different offering, isn't it? You know, it's that kind of thing. I love them. I think they're super cute. Also really good for Halloween, because you could put all potions in them, couldn't you? And have a lovely time. Now then, these are incredible value for money. You're going to get 12 of them, $10.99. They're less than £1 a jar, a lot less than £1 a jar. Now, you could paint these with the glass paint. You could have them all candy striped, and you could have your summer drinks in them outside. I'm thinking trifle. Dessert glasses. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Knickerbocker Glory. Remember those? But also, look at this with your stickers on. These are your clear stickers that we've started to bring you now. Decorate these up. Use them as vases. Just use them as vases outside on your garden furniture. That's what you want to do. But weddings. You know, candles inside these for a wedding are just going to be amazing. Even if it's electric candle, they're going to look stunning, aren't they? And to get 12 of them for $10.99 before your discount is amazing value for money. Don't miss out on these, because they're fantastic. Right, my lovely Stephanie, are you ready for us to come
indeed.
over? There you go, look.
One other thing, because they'll fit a standard lid. But because they've got that little ridge, you can put wire around it, make it into a little wire handle, and have them hanging in the garden. They'd look amazing, wouldn't they?
Oh, nice.
Right, guys, I need to show you a couple of things. So first of all, this beautiful variegated. Now, there's a lot of gold leaf on the market, and I've been working with it for probably about 30, 40 years. In fact, I've got a room in my house where one wall of it and the furniture in that room is literally, it's a gilded wall. And what's really important is there's loads of different gold leaf, but it isn't all the same quality. It's a bit like buying paint. When you buy paint, some of it's thin, some of it doesn't have much pigment in it, some of it isn't designed for multi-surfaces. Well, the same thing when you're buying metal leaf. And one of the things about the variegated one is that you want consistency through the packet. Now, you want the variation, but that's obviously part of the feature, and it's the appeal of the luxurious element of it. But we also do want it consistent enough that if we were joining it, it doesn't look like it's come from 2 separate packets. And that's why we've chosen this quality. And you'll notice that if I take this area here, where we've got the gold around the outside, then that lovely pink and that lovely iridescent greens and blues, and I turn it over, on the other side it does look different. So you're getting the luxury of having two different effects with this. Right, then if I put it into amongst the gold, the copper, the silver, it works with all of them. So if you've got a surface that you've already started to cover and then you want to add another little bit of colour to it to finish off that design, and I've already glued this, so that's why it's sticking. I was going to say,
that's magic.
I know.
I was like, what's she doing here now? That's magic.
So I've already put a little bit of glue on it, but look, it's seamless. And this is why you need this particular foil, because it's absolutely perfect. Look at that. It just has blended into that pear. It just looks it's stunning, and it's so easy to work with, and now that's taken on a whole new look. So if you look at it from this side, it looks great, but if you look at it from this side, that's just gone up in price by £20.
Absolutely.
Isn't that stunning?
Gorgeous.
Now, the other bit is putting it onto papers. I mean, there's one of it on the little jars. Put those glass Votives in there and they're going to look absolutely beautiful. Use it with your papers so it blends into, even these really pastel colours, it will blend into that pastel and looks effective. We're getting a lot of reflection with the lights in the studio, so you almost don't see it at its best. But I'm going to just share with you what I would do with these lovely rice papers. So I've taken the papers behind and just enlarged the design in Minecraft Studio, and then I've printed them on our A3 printer. But you could have just printed that on an A4 and it would have looked just as stunning. So that's the object of the exercise, is get this not printed so it's really big. And then we're going to take our pen and we're just going to colour it now with the glue. But because this is absorbent, when I lift this up, I'm actually getting glue underneath there. So take one of the carrier sheets, the protective sheets, and use that so that when you're working, you're not transferring the glue to the surface underneath, because otherwise you're going to be doing a little bit of cleaning up and we don't want to have to do that. So I'm just putting in some of this colour, and I'm being really random, and you can see just how random I am with the way that I'm just layering down these little bits of colour, going really quickly because it doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, it's better if it isn't perfect. You want to make sure that you've just got the colour where you want it. So I'm just going to keep going with this last little bit because I want to get a bit more of it than just that corner so that you can see how gorgeous this is. And if you think you can't see where you've been, you can lift it up and it just gives you a little shimmer where the glue is. It will dry clear, so that's one of the things that we want. So, and I love these pens because they actually, when you dot them, they really do dot. So if I show you on here, and I'm doing, let me pick up something where you can see the dots.
Yeah.
Have you got a piece of dart card? Thank you. I'm just going to show you this because look, have you got a glue pen that will do that? Because if you have, you don't need these, but I bet you haven't. Because unless you've got them, look at it. That, and then this. So just going to look at that flooding. That colour is there, is going to turn completely transparent, and that is going to become our glue.
You can make your own snowflake acetate.
You can,
Can't you?
absolutely. And you can also pick it up and you'll see that little bit of texture that I'm putting there. Watch what happens when I put this on. So it's like magic. And those dots were still wet, so I've been able to get almost like it's like a meteorite shower.
It is.
Look at how it's gone in like little stripes. It's so clever. I love it. Right, I'm just going to show you this on here now. Oh, this is the best bit. So we're going to take this, and it's really robust. And that, for me, is one of the things that makes this so user-friendly. So I'm literally just taking this to the areas that I put my glue. Right, now, everybody talks about putting this into a box, but I'm going to show you this because this is another way of you collecting all the pieces. So I need it that way up. So I've got a big bag, a big A3 bag, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to place it inside like that. And then I am literally saving all of this into here. Now, let it dry a little bit more than I did, because remember, because it's quite moist and it's quite juicy, those pens are really juicy, what you'll get is you'll get a good transfer of the actual glue, and that is what we want. But look at that. All of that is now in there, ready for me to put my next one in.
I have a question.
But look at how I've changed and transformed that foiling. It just looks beautiful. You can just see the colour.
You could save that foil into a laminating sheet.
You could. Imagine it laminated. That would look amazing.
Wouldn't it?
Okay, right. I'm going to do this big piece here. I had to nearly arm wrestle this off our lovely Mel. But I want to show you a couple of little tricks on it. If you haven't got this download, guys, please get it, because you're going to love the result that you get with it. It's absolutely stunning.
This download?
This download, yeah. Look at it.
It just looks like you've had a walk by the river, and you've gone a little bit off path, and you go like this and you look through the hedgerows, and all of these wildflowers are just growing in the background. How stunning is this? Even if you just added a little bit of the metal leaf to the centres of those flowers, and imagine it with your fluttering through lace with your fairies on the wings. Imagine it with your Christmas that David bought you last week. I mean, those downloads that I brought you yesterday, just adding that spot foiling on, but in the comfort of your own home, you're now creating a process that would normally be manufactured for you, but now you're in charge of where it goes and how much you use. It's lovely, isn't it? And I love the new one. That's so beautiful. You need that in your life. And the amount of sheets is great, isn't it? And as Stephanie said, quite robust. Or are you doing the joining thing again?
I am, but I'm doing it slightly differently, because this is, so what I'm going to do is, if you want to join these perfectly, you literally trace along here with your water. So you trace along one of the torn edges and just overlap them, because you don't want that square straight edge. But we're going to do it a little bit different today. So I'm just going to show you a different thing. So I've just torn those, and these patterns just work perfectly, but I do need this straight at the bottom, because this has got to go around my vase. So I'm just going to get that so that the two pieces are together, and I'm just going to use a little bit of my glue that I've got, and I'm just going to
See, that surprises me that you're using the mop brush with glue. Does it not affect the brush at all?
No.
Wow.
No, it just puts it on very thinly.
That's brilliant.
Which, when you want a really thin layer,
yeah,
that's a perfect way of doing it.
Oh, I love that.
But also, that's what I've done here, where I've got little bits of texture.
Oh, nice.
So now I'm just going to use this. Now, I'm using it, and I'm making sure that I'm going across, because we don't want to. You can go with your pen, of course, but my mop brush is going to give me the texture that I need. And I'm just putting this across the areas, and I'm just going to tear here.
I have a couple of comments. Jane McMillan, can you use Cadence heat transfer with your metal leaf?
Yes, you can. Yes.
And Mrs. H999 says the glue pens, she likes the way I say it, she says. That's why I do Mrs. H999. The glue pens are great for crystal art too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
brilliant.
Great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, right, what I'm doing is I'm just getting this so it's uneven because we want it to be, I don't want it to be perfectly level. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this wrap and I'm going to make sure, I've got glue on my fingers, never mind. In fact, I'll have a bit of that on here because I want a bit of that pink. There you go. Right, so I'm just going to make sure that when this wraps around, I'm happy with the way that that's going to look. So we're going to take it round our vase. We're going to see how big the overlap is. And at the moment, with this overlap like that, I'm going to get a line here, but I want it to come down more like this. I want it to be much more diagonal in the way that it's going to go. So I'm going to take that, so I'm tearing it down as I go. And I'm going to tear that bit. I don't want to really lose too much of that. Let's have a look at it again. So let's see how that's going to go. So it's this piece here, look. Can you see? We want it so that it looks like it's meant to be like that. Right. If you get a piece that you've torn off that you love because it's got the colour on it, all you do is take that piece, find somewhere else to put it, and apply it. So you're actually just applying it. And I'm just going to take that piece and we're going to have you there. And I'm just going to get you rubbed in. Whoops. You need your Decoupage Plus glue for this. Don't use your Mixion like I am because you'll end up with it everywhere. Sticky. Sticky. Right, now let me feel my tack. Not quite tacky enough. So I'm just going to go get my little bits of tack. And you'll see the other reason I want to use my mop brush on the glass is because you don't get streaks. Right, so I'm happy with that now. I'm just going to put that to one side for a moment and get out this piece that I've got in the bottom. So let's have a look at this. Oh, that was that other bit I thought I might need, but I don't think I will. So this is going to go round here and it's going to fit now perfectly. Okay, I'm happy with that. So we'll put our all of this on, and you can be quite generous with your papers because every little bit you can use. Love this stuff. It's absolutely stunning. Right, now I'm going to get you all over the way that we've got it here. Roll that back, roll you back because we don't want anything happening there. Right, so I'm happy with that. Then it's on the outside. I don't know how that's happened. Right, so then we're going to go with our glue and we'll put a little bit of this in here. Oops, that's a lot. And we're just going to go like this. And you will see in a second how this mop brush will allow you to get a really, really thin coat. So can you see there how thin it is? Look at that. That's super thin. And it's letting you do that because you've got all those goat's hair bristles that are, so this is already tacky. And it literally is the thinnest coat going, and it holds that glue just where we need it. So
we're being asked if we can sell the A3 cellar bags.
I think they're on the website.
Are they? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Check them out under Craftmaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Check them out.
So look at how thin this is going on, guys. These brushes, yep, they're brilliant for what we use them for, but we also, for this technique, this is superb because they're so thin. I'm literally coating the whole of this piece of glass, just moving my colour, and my glue, I mean, so sorry, I'm calling colour, but you can see it's already nearly clear before I've even done what I've done. So look at that. It's hardly got any, it's just like a really thin coat. And also because they are sort of like soft and squidgy, you can roll it like this. You can't do this with a paintbrush or a regular paintbrush or a piece of foam, and it keeps your hand out from being inside the vase where you want to make sure that you have got everything just like this. So just keep that going. Right, now, the next thing is getting this inside, which can be a challenge. But if you do it like this, it's dead easy. So what you do, you get it in your hand and you roll it round your hand like that. Now, the important thing is to keep the bottom level. So we need the bottom of it level like that. So you've made yourself a little roll, okay? Then we take this and probably should leave it maybe a couple of minutes more, but we haven't got time, so we're going to do it as it is. And you start off on one side and you get that pressed down. And then as you go round, you're just going to go against the design like this, and it will just make sure you slide it down. That's why it's important that you get that line right to start with. Down here. There we go. Oh, stuck. We're going all the way round, and once you get it moving, it's easy. So keep that moving, staying down, and then this bit to here. Right. So now I need to press that against the back of it, and look at how that's starting to really come to life now. You're seeing all of that foiling. There we go, look at it. Just now, there. Just going to rub that through. Now, once we've got our design, and you can see how it is joining here, but because we've got that, you can't see where it's joining. There's a little bit of a line there because I should have probably given that a tear, but I'm really happy with the way that that's looking.
That's lovely.
So it's starting to look really good. So I'm just looking to see if I need to do anything else inside, but I don't think I do. We're going to put this in, and then when we've finished, we're going to give it a coat of our decoupage glue. But I'm just going to put this in.
Wow.
This is, oh, look at this, guys. So as I take a piece of this, and the reason that I got so into gold and metal leaf years and years ago was I went into Selfridges in London, and I saw, I've told you this story before, I think, and I saw the most beautiful vase in there, but it was a fortune. It was a stupid amount of money. It was just silly money. And I saw it and I thought, you know, I could make that. And I went away and I bought a vase, a big vase to do it with. And I did it, and for all the years that I had that vase, all that ever happened was people asked me where I bought it from. And I'd made it. And I was like, oh yeah, they sell these in Harrods.
In Harrods, yes.
They sell them in Selfridges. Just like...
Not funny.
Yeah, but not at this price.
I remember going to Harrods when I was a little girl with Mum and Dad. And I was absolutely horrified that they sold, and I don't know why it was this at all, but they went to the sweet counter and they had a quarter. Remember when you used to buy a quarter of something, of sugared almonds, and it was £7. Now you wouldn't get half a dozen sugared almonds for £7, but at the time, that was like hundreds and hundreds of pounds. I was like, and I was only little.
But isn't it funny how
times change?
But also how we remember money.
Isn't it funny that?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right, guys, and look at how easy this is for me to just rub my fingers round the actual thing. It's not going onto the paper, but so I'm going to use my decoupage glue to make sure that this is soaked and against the glass. And then I'm also going to use my I'd use my Aquastone varnish to make sure that the whole thing is sealed, because then I would be putting flowers in this.
Absolutely.
I would absolutely put flowers in. Right, so I've got a little bit of mist.
Wow.
But this...
That looks amazing.
On the inside of the glass... Yeah, because I wanted to be able to give the whole thing a coating so that I didn't have to worry about where my glue was when I came to do my my gilding. So I did it all in one go. But to make sure that this is completely stuck, I will go back with my Decoupage Plus glue and put a coat on the inside, just so that all of this has been given a... Sealed in. Yeah, and the other reason is that I didn't put the decoupage over the outside is I want the glass to look like it's almost been hand painted. It's got this, you just can't tell how it's been done. I mean, if you looked at it, you wouldn't actually know how it's been done. And
amazing,
that's the effect. And the other thing is, when we then come to put lights in it, it looks stunning, absolutely stunning. Now, I've got a little bit here that I've clearly missed because there is nothing sticking to that part of it. So I could go back and put some more glue on to get it level all the way round. But I actually like it.
Yeah, I do too.
So I'm going to leave that bit. I'm just going to literally give that a rub.
And if you wanted to, you could do it on the outside, couldn't you? There's no rules.
Yes, there's no reason why you couldn't.
But I like it inside because you get that shine to it as well from the glass. And I love the way that you've brought the metal foil from the top down, because that's the bit that throws you off. You're like, well, how have you got that bit there?
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Now,
it's stunning.
On this one that's silver, that's been this one's been mirror sprayed, we do this differently. So I'm just going to show you on this one. And I'm going to, and you'll see where the glue's going. Can you see how I'm doing it? So it's just sort of along the edges. But look at this brush. Guys, don't just use your goat's hair brushes for finishing. Use them like I am here. Because you literally can just direct where you want it to be. So I've left a gap there of the mirror, and then here I'm just coming. I'm going to leave a little gap there. Right, I'm not going to do it all. I'm just going to leave that for a minute, and made a little bit of a mess, but not much. Not much for me, eh? Right, so I can then take this into this great big bag that I've got.
Yeah, check those out, see if they're on the website.
Yep.
Karen's asking, can you fill it with water? Well, you could if you aquastone it.
If you aquastone it, absolutely.
Leave it to cure.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you could. I love the idea of having that with flowers in. It's amazing, isn't it? How times change. You can put rice paper through a dishwasher with the correct glue. You can put it on the inside of a vase, seal it with aquastone, and still use it as a vase. What Caden Springer's is fabulous, but this foil stuff, and I love this new one.
This is very luxurious.
And it's going to bring all your other ones together as well, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's got all the colours in it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it has indeed. Right, so we'll just get make sure we get this bit of it covered properly.
I mean, these with your poinsettias around it that we had on the other day with Crimson Noel would look absolutely beautiful. If you did them out of Sospeso, can you imagine that round the vase?
That looks stunning.
Right.
Right, so look at how, with that mop brush, I've been able to get this texture on the edge, so it's almost like it's torn. You've got that torn, and I can leave landlocked areas like I've got there. And it's almost too reflective for the camera.
Yeah.
And what I've done is, I've done it because you see how you've got this, if I just show you one of these sheets, where you've got the sort of texture, and you can see how it's got all these little shapes in it. I've been able to mimic that shape with the gaps. So let me just finish off. Oops, I've got a lot of it. Don't be as wasteful as me. I'm being really bad here. But I also like being messy. Not that you'd have ever guessed.
No, we'd never have known that, Stephanie.
And then there's a little bit there that I just missed. I didn't realise I got so far round.
Oh, look at you.
All right. Right, so we're done. And this will look stunning. So it looks like you've heated up the metal.
Yeah, it does, and it's tarnished.
And it's tarnished,
yeah. It does. That's exactly what it looks like.
And I think that with your mirror spray, look at that.
Phenomenal, isn't it?
Oh, I don't want to wash my hands.
Oh, imagine using the etching cream.
Oh, look at that, guys. Look at that.
That's lovely, isn't it?
Absolutely beautiful.
It really is. That goes
What
from
a
a
wow.
jar that costs you a few pounds to a jar that costs you
Well, you would,
pounds, right?
and this is interesting, isn't it? The mirror is actually catching the edges, so it's creating a shadow here, which when you see that in real life, that's just stunning. Mm. But look how easy it is to apply.
Right. I'm
wow.
going to do a quick recap while you tidy up.
Quick, you better take your time.
Right, come with me, Emily. Let's have a look at these deals that we've got for you today, because we've got options for you, which is always good, right? If you would like 24 of these little Votive jars, I mean, this is crazy value for money, because it's $24.99 for these and the metal plate, the metal leaf, which is just phenomenal. These advent calendars, I think these are great. And again, we're just Lorraine Bradbury was saying she's just what I've done. Melted the wax that's left in other candles down and fill these, because you don't want to waste anything. These are just great to have around, aren't they, really? You also play lots of games like, what do they call that one? That one, Emily, you'll know, that ping pong one, where you have to get it in a cup, and if you miss, you have to have a drink. Cup pong, is that what it's called? Bad smell when I was a kid. Right, so you're going to get.
I thought you were kidding. Is it a name?
Is it a name? So you have all these cups like that lined up. You stand on one end and you have to do that. And if it goes in, you're all right. And if it doesn't, you have to have a shot.
It lands like in the alcohol.
Wow.
I know, right? Youth of today, they slide into DMs and do all sorts, don't they? Anyway, if you want this and you want 25 sheets of that beautiful brand new metal leaf, then you're in the right place, because it's $24.99 for 25 sheets and all of these votives in here as well. Now then, if you want the that is shop bundle. If you want this by itself, you can have the metal leaf by itself. You're going to get 25 sheets of this, and just look at this, Emily. I'm going to leave it flat on here, so if you come over the top of it, you might get a really look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? I mean, there's no other word for it. It's just stunning. And I love the way that it almost looks like the colours pooled around the outside. How clever is that? And all individually wrapped in your tissue paper as well. So if you want that by itself, it's Shop Metal, $17.99. Now, if you're in the mood for treating yourself to some mop brushes, and you've seen all the different techniques that Stephanie's used with that, so the glue on the inside, the glue on the rice paper, picking up the metal leaf with it, all of that, these are incredible value for money, because you're going to get all three of those plus 24 8 centimetre squares of different colours of metal leaf as well for $9.99. That, my friends, is amazing. I'd just buy a couple of those because these brushes are brilliant for all sorts of different techniques. And if you've ever seen like the marble spray or Stephanie doing marbling and just softening it out, that's what you use those for. So while they're on an offer at $9.99, I'll be grabbing those because that is amazing. Right, next, you've got your 3 mop brushes. You've then got your 10 fine brushes in here. You're then going to get 300 sheets of your metal leaf, 100 silver, same in gold, and 100 rose gold. So you're getting all of that with your brushes. Shop leaf, $39.99. I just want to show you this paper, because if you're getting that download today, look what you can achieve in the comfort of your own craft room. Now, if that was a printed regular paper in a craft shop, you might pay 75 pence a sheet. You put that metal leaf on it and you're the best part of £2 a sheet. That's how much it adds value. So if you're making your cards with this, even if it's just the centres of the flowers or a little bit on the butterfly's body or a little bit on the wings of one of the fairies, this is going to look absolutely exquisite. And you can charge more, right? Brilliant. Right, so if you want that one is shop leaf. If you want the copper, which is like a shiny new penny, look at that, brand new penny, you can get that, 100 sheet, shop copper, $14.99. So you can see how this is all going to come together. And if you've got the copper and this set and the small ones and that set, you've got all of it. If you're anything like me and you can't buy just one colour, you have to have them all, because it's always one that you haven't got that you need. Like just when you throw something away and then a week later you need it. I know. It's all excuses, isn't it? Right, glue pens. Oh, Stephanie's off with a little vacuum cleaner. You love that, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell when she loves something, I just get, yeah, I do, yeah. Look, right, if you would like 3 of these incredible glue pens, these are by far the best glue pen I've used in a long, well, ever in my career. They are sold out. Are we gone? Oh, gone. Got to be quick here, you know. What about this? 12 jars. Imagine these. Do you remember when you were little and you used to go in the fields at the end or onto the local village green and you pick the dandelions and the daisies and take them home for your mum?
Yeah.
And then she had to find a vase to put them in because they were about that big. Brilliant. Right, 12 of these. This is going to be fabulous. I love the idea of having these just in the garden with little battery-powered lights on in the evening when you sat outside with your glass of wine. That'd be rather nice, wouldn't it? 12 of them, shop jar, $10.99. That's before your club discount, so way under £1 a jar. I love the idea of doing desserts in these. I think that's a great shout.
Oh, desserts.
Right.
But even in these, you can do chocolate shots.
Oh, yeah, but that's too small, that. We need this size, don't we? This is David's cocktail glass, this. Cocktails, Stephanie.
Cocktails.
Cocktails.
Wow.
That'll be a good one. That'll keep you going for a little while. Right, shop jar, $10.99. And then, Emily, I'm going to get you to come in, my lovely, and just have a really good close look at all of these flowers, because these papers are exquisite. Imagine just having that metal leaf just inside there where the pollen is there, just dots with those glue pens, those fine dots, and just a small amount of embellishment. I mean, those 25 sheets are going to go a long, long way. Same on these, just in the centres of the flowers, just that little extra highlight that you've got going along. But just in a frame, go to your charity shop, pick up a couple of inexpensive frames, use your Cadence products on them, because you're all buying it, you need to use it now. Or maybe you just want to include them on something like the back of a canvas, like these. And if you're wondering what these are moulds that David and I had on last night at 6 o'clock. Look at Stephanie all tin and tidy. Right, Emily, you've got to master now backwards through a small gap while still keeping the camera going. Well done, look at you.
Well,
brilliant,
true
right?
Professional.
There you go. Right, are you quite happy over there? We've got that on the show.
This?
Yeah.
No, it's sold out. We've got to get some more.
Oh, okay. That's good though. Look at you all tidy.
It's brilliant. I love it.
I know, I can tell by the look on your face. That was so satisfying for you, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Thank you.
Right, shall we go back and back over to you? Are you ready?
Yes.
Lovely.
Yes, we are. Look at how tidy I am.
Now look at you.
Right, guys. So I'm just having a bit of a clean up. So what we've got is this beautiful, beautiful textured finish on our card, on our gilding, and it looks like you've actually burnt into it. It is such a clever finish. And the thing about this is it is really, really robust, and that's important because when you're working with it, if it isn't, it'll tear and you don't see this lovely pattern that we've got there. But of course with it, you've got everything here that we need. Now, the other thing I just wanted to share with you is when you get it, if you wanted to, let's say for instance, I'll just get that piece off my fingers. If you wanted to put this, and I'm just going to layer it like that, on this jar, and you want to be really super good about how much you need, because by cutting this sheet in half, it's going to give me exactly what I need. I can cut it through my paper, okay? So that's one thing. But what about if you wanted to put things on your designs and you wanted to be very specific about the shape? So I've taken the piece, I've still got the backing paper on the back there. I'm just going to take that and I'm going to very carefully place that into my jar. And you can cut this to the perfect size. So you can literally cut it to shape.
Wow.
To have it in there. But because I've cut it to size, now this is a challenge because I've got to try and get that. I've broken it, so it won't happen. But this one sheet, and again, I'm just going to wrap this around my finger to be able to get my hand in there and then get it against the edge of the jar. But what you'll notice in just a second, well, I'll just get this next piece in, just make sure you can see it, is when you put gold leaf on or silver, you get a seam, and so I've purposely cut a piece that's got where I cut that leaf, I cut it so that it had a line, an actual cut line. But if you look now, you can't see that line. Because of the way this works, it literally disguises the line. It's completely gone. So the thing about this, the advantage that you've got over all your other gold and silver and copper and coloured leaves, is that this will join seamlessly. Yeah. So you don't even have to think about, have I got everything in the right place? It literally does it, and it almost adds to the pattern when you break it up. So now you can see, oh, I wish it wasn't quite so reflective in the studio, because you're seeing all that reflection, and yet it's just, look at it, it's completely beautiful. Seamless.
Yeah, it really is.
And so I'm just going to go in with this.
It's a bit like the frame that you've got round over your fireplace, isn't it?
Yes.
The big frame.
Yeah.
So Stephanie has this massive frame. I mean, it's big. And all the years I was like, good grief, I tell you what, they need strong walls to put that on. It's polystyrene, isn't it?
Yeah.
It looks amazing.
It's not even plaster.
Looks incredible. And the ceiling rows.
Yes.
You've got around the
they've both been done. We've done both of them.
They're incredible.
So really cheap things, but then you can change and make it look expensive.
These would look lovely through a stencil. If you used your glue through a stencil.
Perfectly.
Wouldn't they?
Yeah. So I'm just going to...
They used to be stencils, you see.
Right, guys, so now...
Gosh,
look at those two. Look at how they look. You're going to love this when you get it home, because it looks so professional when it's finished, and it looks so expensive.
It really does. That's lovely, Stephanie. And that big vase just looks exquisite, doesn't it?
Yeah, this
absolutely
one.
stunning.
Oh, if you're wondering how far that pack would go,
yes,
you could do about 10 of these.
Yeah.
And then what's left, do 10 of those, and probably half a dozen or more of those.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Because a little goes a long way.
Yeah.
Right, because it's so striking. And it's got such depth to that colour, you don't need a lot of it. Right, we're going next door. David's on next, I think, Amber. What's he up with, please? Can you tell us?
Happy hour.
Happy hour with David. I've got a happy hour with David at 1 o'clock. I know, if it's anything like last night, it'd be hilarious, wouldn't it? Right, stay with David, get your bargains, and then Lily will be back at 12 o'clock with myself doing Scan and Cut. See you then. Bye.